Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain from the flight deck. Welcome aboard the flight. We're expecting a smooth ride today, so the seatbelt sign should remain off for most of the flight. Thanks for flying with us, and once again, welcome aboard.
A through tears said, I don't know what I did wrong in my life to deserve to lose my husband and my son. Instantly, friend B exclaimed, well, I can tell you that. You didn't allow God and the Bible into your life, so God punished you for that. Can you blame him? Friend A just looked at her in awe, and I lost it. I yelled at her that what she said was totally uncalled for and unbelievably hurtful. Then I got up, opened the front door, and told her to get the heck out of my house and never contact me again. She tried to backtrack and say that she wasn't trying to be hurtful, but I wasn't having any of it. I just yelled, get out of my house right now and don't make me throw you out like a piece of trash. She huffed and left. Friend A was bawling at this point, but said thank you. We continued talking and she calmed down after a while. Looking back now, I realize I possibly could have handled the situation better. Both friend A and I never thought friend B would say something like that. Maybe I overreacted. I don't know. Am I the jerk? That is a horrible thing to say to somebody who's grieving in probably one of the most extreme ways you can even grieve. To lose your child and also your husband in such a short period of time, that doesn't help. If you wanted to bring up the idea...
Flight attendants, please be seated for takeoff.
Ways you can maybe do it, maybe as a way to help them through it, but to say that she deserved to lose her husband and her child because she didn't let God into her life is probably the worst possible way to get somebody interested in whatever religion you have. I mean, what did she think was going to happen? She was going to slap her forehead and go, oh, I'm such a dummy. I guess I should have let God into my life and lost my child and my husband. Now I know. I feel much better. It's just such a bizarre way to handle a situation like that that's already so terrible. Yeah, it's not like the OP in this situation insulted her or made fun of her or did something. She just told her to leave, to get out of her house and leave. And it sounds like that's exactly what friend A needed. She needed somebody to just remove friend B from the situation because she's already having a hard time and friend B is not helping at all. But let me know what you guys would do if this was you.
This is your captain from the flight deck. We have reached our cruising altitude. The flight attendant should start their in-flight service shortly. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
Ever since we had a baby, we're 27 years old, my wife has been talking like a baby herself. Rather than teaching the baby to talk like a person, it's as if my wife's language has become baby-like. She would make noises between conversations like bo-bee, bo-dee, choop, and woo-woo-woo, fa-ta-la-la-la-la, even when talking with adults. This is especially embarrassing when I'm in public with her, and she talks like that to complete strangers. I have been telling her nicely not to do that.
This is your captain from the flight deck. We have started our initial descent and will be landing soon. Thanks for flying with us, and we hope to see you again soon.
Am I the jerk for blowing up at my stepsister at her comments about my lost weight? My stepsister, a 20-year-old female, and I, a 24-year-old male, have never gotten along. Her mom and my dad got married when we were 6 and 10, so we've known each other for a long time. In my stepmom's eyes, she could do no wrong, and anything bad that happened was pinned on me. My dad is a complete pushover, so he would always fall over to whatever my stepmom would say. When I was about 15 years old, I started gaining weight. My girlfriend broke up with me. Woohoo, high school romance. I started failing some classes, and I quit baseball. I started to stress eat and ballooned up from 125 pounds to 162 pounds. I guess at that point she decided she was cooler than I was and started mocking me, making fun of me, calling me names like fat butt and chubster. I would constantly
Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
She's just teasing. She's so much younger. Why are you getting upset? I got pissed to the point where I started avoiding her and locking myself upstairs with a bag of chips. At 22 years old, I hit 270 pounds, and I knew I had gone too far. I was way past my weight limit, and I was bordering on obese. So as a New Year's resolution, I decided to start losing weight. I cut out all junk food and started hitting the gym. Around this time, my stepsister started to overeat too. I really don't know why, but she gained over 30 pounds. She was still constantly belittling me about my weight, which admittedly was still way over hers. By the end of this year, I lost 120 pounds. It felt amazing. My stepsister now weighed more than me. Over Christmas dinner, all the aunts and uncles and cousins were complimenting me on my weight loss, telling me how I looked so much better. My stepsister just sat there smoldering. Every time someone said something she had, he's still pretty big. And, well, he didn't get rid of that face roundness and maybe lose a little more weight around that gut. It was infuriating, and I was getting angrier. Now, here's where I might be the jerk. In her last little snide, look, you know you'll just put it all back on. Why do you even bother? I flipped out and I yelled, why can't you just be happy for me instead of getting on me for every little thing? She said back to me, defensive much? I said, oh, I'm sorry. Did I hurt your 200-pound feelings? I asked her. I probably should have stopped there, but I kept going. You're calling me a fat butt? Look at your plate. You've eaten half the table, fatty. She started crying and left the table. My stepmom screamed at me, saying, just because I was insecure, I can't take it out on everyone. I said, oh, now you're talking. Not in the past 10 years of constant fatty and lard and porker have you stopped her. But you're way older, she whined. I left the table and went home. I woke up to 1,000 messages from my stepmom, my dad, and my stepsister. They were saying I wasn't welcome to their house until I apologized. I'm not going to. Am I the jerk? It's the classic tale of somebody dishing it but not being able to take it. From the way he tells it, it seems like he was holding it back for a very, very long time to the point that he just couldn't contain it anymore. And now that he finally has made some huge progress by losing 120 pounds, he probably couldn't handle the hypocrisy of it all for a moment longer. It's just weird that somebody would make these sort of comments about somebody else, but then not be okay if somebody makes them back to you. And I'm assuming it's because maybe he said it in a more hurtful way, or maybe they think because he's older that he should take